got to be feeling great about it if you're in New York. But look, I think, I don't know when we're making our picks, but I think Indiana is going to be much tougher than a lot of people think. Some people acknowledge it's going to be a great series. The Pacers have played at a 59-win pace
for a long
over
time.
82 games. In this calendar year, in 2025, they've been at a 59-win pace. Obviously, that's better than the Knicks record for the 82 games. So the Pacers are, and both of them are gritty.
Yeah.
Like
They
were grittier than Boston, the Knicks. They're a gritty team. The Pacers are just as gritty as the Knicks. So I think this is going to be a great series. And then if you get there, I would pick OKC or Minnesota. I'm feeling like over the Knicks if that's a finals matchup.
Also, if those four teams, we don't have to put up the graphic again. We know who they are. Oklahoma City, Minnesota, New York, and Indy.
Yeah.
We are guaranteed to have what is a true rarity in the NBA, which is the unequivocal, undeniable best player on a team be a guard. People got used to it because Jordan was not a lot. You know what I mean? It's Steph, Isaiah, Jordan. I'm leaving one. D Wade, if you think he was the unequivocal best player on that team, the Heat. But that's really it. It's wing, you know what I mean? It was for a long time in NBA history, it was centers, and then it became these dynamic wings. And all four of these teams, their best player without a doubt is the guy who handles the ball all the time, their guard. I think they definitely can. I think that going into the playoffs, I really liked their starting five, and now I really like their top seven. And that's really important if you're going to try to win 4 rounds. I think Deuce has been... Deuce is just what they had Shamet, who's the other guy off the bench, who Campaign, and Deuce. They needed one of those three to be like, hey, can we play you 9 minutes a game in the playoffs? And Deuce is like, you can play me, and I'll even have a chase down block in one of the games. And then Mitch has been great. And before we move on to the next thing, I'm just going to give you a hat tip to you, Kevin Wildes, because this should be your take, but you inspired it to me.
Wow.
If there was ever a player in recent NBA history who has enough tough guy credibility, kind of macho credibility, and the absolute is beloved by the fans and they will support it, that he could say, you know what, I'm busting out the underhand free throw.
Oh, yeah.
It would be Mitch. Where I don't think people would laugh at him. I don't think it would. The whole reason we've said guys shouldn't do it is because it's embarrassing and there's whatever. I think Mitch, he plays such a tough style and is such a rugged player. And it is one of the things I noticed in the Celtics series, which was concerning for me for New York moving forward. The hack of Mitch got so in his head. Go back and watch some of Mitch's rebounds the last 2 games against Boston. His offensive rebounds, gets the rebound, immediately turns to pass. Doesn't even think about going up for a putback dunk because he doesn't want to get fouled. And so, but he's been excellent for them. So I will give my pick for the series. I think they are beating the Pacers. I think it'll be a good series. I think the Pacers are really good, and I think they can win the championship.
Drew, when are you making your official pick?
Probably.
Game 1 is Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
Maybe Wednesday.
You be ready? Okay.
Yeah, I already know, but
No, but you called the Brock Purdy thing. You've been right all along. You're on.
I feel like I may have backed myself into a corner.
I mean, nap down
I've been
and
shouting,
showing
"Nap
the
a little bit. You brought your childhood photos and you were in a
so
yellow
I may have
tie.
backed myself into a corner.
You never know.
But I like the Pacers, so we'll see this week before game 1.
So with Denver and Boston out this weekend, we will be getting our 7th champion in the last 7 seasons in a league built on dynasties. This is the first time that's ever happened. Here's your quick list: the Raptors, the Lakers, the Bucks, the Warriors, the Nuggets, and the Celtics. What is your reaction to the parity of the champions?
I've said for a long time that I think, really throughout my career, I think dynasties are best for the NBA.
I agree.
Because the 80s with the Bird Celtics and the Showtime Lakers, then the Jordan era, the 80s was the golden era that brought the league back. Then Jordan took it to the stratosphere, and Shaq and Kobe were great. The Heatles were good. Everybody likes these dynasties. And on top of that, the worst decade for the NBA was the 70s, when they had 8 teams win championships and nobody ever repeated in that decade. But I got to be honest. These playoffs have been fantastic. And I'm liking this parity. It feels like, now obviously you have the Chiefs in the NFL, but outside of the Chiefs, it kind of feels like it could be anybody. You know, I mean, is it Baltimore, Buffalo, Houston?
It's the
somebody
same like
the
7 or 8
NFC.
teams. It feels like,
and I'm not saying it's all of the NBA, but this, I kind of like this wide open. I feel like these playoffs have been like opening up a gift, and you have no idea what's in it. And so, we've got a 3 seed, a 4 seed, a 6 seed, and then the 1 seed in OKC. So I guess we'd have to see it over longer years, but I like it right now. And what I'm interested in, Nick, is what superstar, if one does, grabs hold of this era and says it's mine by winning multiple rings, or ends this era and a guy that hasn't won yet and runs off and wins a few.
So I'm glad you kind of put an exclamation mark on your point with that, because it leads to what I'm going to say, which is some of the narrative going into this postseason was, man, is this the end of the last breath of the LeBron-Steph-KD era? And that's pretty clear. Like, LeBron has a chance to win a championship because they got Luka.
Right.
Steph might have a chance to win a championship if they trade for Giannis. Those guys at this point need to be someone else with them. I'm watching these playoffs and I'm like, did the LeBron-Steph-KD era last so long that it is ending simultaneous to the championship hopes of our last 3 league MVPs? Embiid, Giannis, Joker. Those are the last 6 MVPs, because we haven't announced this one yet, are those 3 guys. I think we are at a point where that generation, those 3 guys, all of them, if they want to win a championship, have to leave where they are. Embiid, pretty, clearly, like they.
And I don't even know.
Embiid's a different thing because of his injury.
Anymore,
Giannis, we're going to talk about later, might be leaving. Joker, we were talking about could they trade for all those guys? Now, 2 of them obviously, and so maybe I shouldn't even include Embiid. Those 2 guys got championships and MVPs and all of it. But I now look at it like that. They still might be the 2 best players in the league. But they're not competing for championships now. I don't see any way, if they stay where they're at, they're going to next year or the year after. Meanwhile, it's like Shea and Ant, Jalen Brunson.
Are only getting better.
Right, those guys. And so it's like the Steph, KD, LeBron era is sunsetting, along with that next era being like, okay, we're still great, but our teams aren't anymore. And these guys coming up. And Tatum would be in this group, but he got hurt. To me, it's an interesting period, because the reason we haven't had back-to-back champs is because the back-to-back champs should have come from Joker or Giannis. That's, you know what I mean, or repeat. The 2 best guys in the league who have been MVP or second or third every year.
Golden State wouldn't after they won.
Yeah, it should have been one of those guys, and the injuries and bad luck and bad performances and teams, they couldn't do it.
And look, that collective bargaining agreement, whether you like it or not, it has worked as far as creating the parity. It's been part of the reason they have this parity.
Purdy's new deal next.
Wilds hates it. The collective bargaining.
I think it gives ownership and an out.
Can we stay just a little bit longer?
Don't worry, we'll be back.
I can't believe they're leaving.